Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting episode of the Paul Brown Show. This evening, my guest will be Mr. Jamikey Woods. He's a professional boxer, and he's going to tell you a little bit about not only himself, but the world of professional boxing. How you doing there, Mr. Woods?
How you doing, Mr. Paul Brown?
Welcome to the Paul Brown Show.
Actually, I started back when I was 13 years old.
Hold on a second, Mr. Woods. Welcome to the Paul Brown Show. Tell us a little bit about yourself. You look like you're a little nervous. Go ahead. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, actually, my name is Jamikey, as Paul said, and actually from Lincoln County. Just moved to Winston-Salem about 5 years ago, and went to school at East Lincoln. Graduated from Maiden High School, and how I got into the boxing game a long time ago. It's like I used to sit back and watch it on TV, and I just knew that this is something that I wanted to do, and I just succeed with it and just prolong and did what I had to do to get where I wanted to get to today.
When you're inside that ring, tell the audience, what are you thinking about? What's that feeling like, being inside that ring?
Well, as you know, anytime when you get in the ring, you lose your ego. And like I said, but the main goal, I come in the ring, and once I hear the bell ring, I'm always ready to go. And like to get that feeling as to step into the ring, to know it. So like I said, it's just the feeling.
Do you take out your aggression on that individual, or do you have to come in there with a kind of like a controlled state of mind?
Well, actually, like once you go in, you go in with an attitude, and like I said, it's basically a mind game. So, like I said, once you been there and know the game, you just you know it. You know what to do.
Okay, let's talk about a little bit about that training that goes on within being a professional boxer. What would you consider to be like a normal training routine, or like the eating habits?
Like I said, you basically stay in shape. Stay on me personally, I usually try to stay below 148, somewhere around in there. As far as the exercising, I mean, you do a lot of sparring, a lot of heavy bag work, push-ups, sit-ups, stuff like that, to sort of kind of stay in shape. So, like I said, just maintain and just eat healthy, basically all I do.
And let me inform the audience of who your trainer is. Your trainer is the former world champion, Mr. Calvin Seabrooks of Charlotte, North Carolina. How did that come about, and what is it like having a former champion like Calvin Seabrooks as your trainer?
Well, actually, it feels good because like I takes it back when I used to train with a different trainers, and coming from amateur trainers and then moving up to pro training. So therefore, like starting from back in 2005, I used to train with a guy named Alan Dixon. He was from New York, and he taught me a lot. And as far as like taking it to the next level, it was just, like I said, when it just wasn't there at that time. So a couple years later down the line, 2013, I met this guy named Calvin Seabrooks, and he's willing to take me there, and that's all that matters. Something I always wanted to do, and I did it.
How does it feel like being trained by a former world champion? I mean, he was the top of the. He's a Hall of Famer. I mean,
Like I said, it's totally different from amateur, and then like I said, once you get to the pro leagues, the workout is just totally different. And like I said, working with Mr. Calvin Seabrooks is a blessing because, I mean, coming from like I said amateur experience and then moving up to having a professional pro to be a trainer. So like I said, I really thank him a lot for it, for taking this time out to push me and to guide me through the way.
mm. Does it take more to be an amateur champion or an average professional boxer?
It starting as amateur, like I said, you working your way up and to come to be a professional boxer. So it takes more to be a professional than it do with the amateur.
In what way? I mean, because I know a lot of people never make it to that professional.
Well, see that's the thing. See, a lot of people like I said, when you go to these different gyms and stuff, it's like you wanna know, wow, okay, you've been training for this amount of time, so why come you're not taking it to the next level? And it just maybe it's not in them right now. So that's the way I look at that's how I look at the situation.
When you get in that ring, Jamikey, and you see that competitor, knowing that it's one-on-one, it's you against him, describe that feeling.
Like I said, it's a tough feeling because you don't know him and he don't know you. So he don't know what you can do and you don't know what I can do. So therefore, like I said, I just take it as I try not to think about it, but I study my opponent and I just go for it.
Why is it important to train, and what type of, I mean, because when you actually get into that fight, your training should kick in. So why should it's important that you put in 100% in your training preparing for that fight?
See, like I said, it's a mind game. So therefore, like you don't train, you don't know. So when you get in the ring, it's like when you in a situation where you can't get out of, it pops in your head just like that. So okay, well, what can I do if I get into this situation? What can I do if I get into that situation? And like I said, that's just how the game goes.
When you come inside the fight, I know Mr. Seabrooks taught you a lot of the different avenues of approach and all that. How do you go about it when you see a fighter that you feel is taking advantage of you as far as the fight? How do you react to that mentally?
But like I said, I just try to focus on myself and don't worry about my fighter. Like I said, once you get the tape and you watch it and focus on what this competitor could do, and it's just like just wait until the time see and go for it. Like I said, I try not to think about it. Once I get in the ring, that's when I study my opponent, and that's when I take a run for it.
Do you consider yourself as being an arrogant fighter or, conservative?
Well, like I said, it's with me personally. Like I don't go for that mentality of I'm a more type person is confident. If I look at a fighter, I'm the type of person that always say, I can get that. I can get him. I mean that's always been me. Like I said, to me it's not about the intimidation. If I look at you, I can beat you regardless. That's how I think, and that's how I think a lot of guys should think.
In the boxing field, are you in it for the money or the glory?
Well, actually, it's the glory. It's something that I always wanted. It was my biggest dream. And like I said, I talk to Seabrook about it all the time, and he would tell you, like I said, I can't thank him enough, and that's I'm dedicated.
Okay, I'm gonna tell you. I know you said that you're in it for the glory and not the money, but I'm gonna give you a little statement that I read. I researched, and it said in 2010, welterweight Floyd Mayweather earned more than 60 million. In 2009, Manny Pacquiao, also a champion, he earned approximately 40 million. Oscar De La Hoya, also a champion, he earned more than 600 million for each 18 pay-per-view fight. How can you say it's not about the money when they're making that that type of revenue?
Well, see, like I said, I mean, without the glory, he wouldn't be here today. And that's why I say, to me, it's about the glory. So, I mean, a lot of people may think different, but like I said, I think different. So,
When you see Floyd Mayweather on TV, you know how he behaves and how cocky he is. How do you interpret that?
like I said, I just take it how I see it. And like I said, it's the cockiness with it. I mean, the intimidation with it. But like I said, when I look at a fighter, I got confidence. I know I can beat him. Like I said, when I go in the ring, I look at my opponent. I got confidence. I know I can beat him. I never go in the ring and say, I can't. I can never beat this person. I can't do it. That's not me. I never been a loser. And that's why I try not to be a loser.
Who inspired you to be a boxer?
Well, actually, my grandpa, Mr. Bobby Woods, and he was a boxer a long time ago. And like I said, he pushed me and kept pushing me and kept pushing me into the fact that where I realized that that's something I wanted to do. And back in 2005, I had I never forget this day. I had my first amateur sparring match,
Oh, okay.
and I got beat pretty bad. But like I said, I never quit it.
Mm-hmm.
And my mother, my father, they didn't want me to do it no more after that day. So I prolonged, I stopped. I was like, I can't give up. And to this day, they told me to go for it. I mean, that's something I always wanted to do. So I pushed the limit, and now I'm rolling with it.
What did you learn from that first defeat? Because I know it had to take a lot from you.
It, like I said, it just made me move forward and put the past behind me. And ever since that night, I told myself I would never lose again. And like I said, I'm not a loser.
Okay, your family, how do they support you as far as being in this boxing field? Because it is a dangerous sport.
Right.
And we see a lot of, I mean, it could be fatal.
Right, but I make my own decisions, and my parents, they know, and they know it's something that was my biggest dream. And like I said, they was against it at first, but now it's they know that, okay, well, this is what he wanted to do, so give him his space and let him do it. And ever since then, they've been pushing me. Look, go for it. That's your dream. Go for it. So,
Why is it important in life to follow your dreams? Because a lot of times we look back into our life and say, I should have done this, I should have done that.
like I said, I grew up around a lot of people, and they always said, well, back then, this is what I could have did, and look what I could have became. And I'm just the type of person that look. I try to put. I try to look where can I be at 2 years from now, and that's what motivates me. And so, like I said, just any time when I say I'm gonna do something, I'm gonna do it, and that's just how it is for me.
When you become that fighter, that fighter that's winning, that champion that we see, that we will eventually come into your path, in what way do you think Jamikey Woods will change, or will you change?
Actually, like I wouldn't change anything, because like I said, the person that I am, I would never change up for no one. You know what I mean? So
So we're gonna be honest, audience. Now let's think about it. Now, I mean, Jamikey, you mean to tell me when you get up there and you start winning these matches and you start being on the limelight, the TV shows, everybody? I mean, you're not gonna change. You're not gonna enjoy that lifestyle that comes along with being a champion.
I'm gonna be the same person the way I came in. And like I said, I don't change up for nobody just because the fame, just because the money. I don't change up for nobody. I don't let that interfere with my personal life. I'm still gonna be the same person when I left, and when I come back, I'm gonna still be the same person.